10:14 right here on the Morning X. And if the job search ever felt longer than ever, you're probably not imagining it. We were just talking here in the studio. Ryan McCarty, our good friend here with Robert Half, with some new data on how long the hiring process, if you're looking right now, it could take you here in 2025. So what is causing the slowdown? It seems like every time we turn around, there are lots of jobs. Why aren't they filling them?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, as always. It's always good seeing you. But we're seeing a hiring slowdown across the board, Ohio, Cincinnati, across the country. And it's causing a lot of frustration, not only for employers, but for job seekers as well. And what you're seeing right now is a lot more applications, less decisions. And so as a result, it's frustrating in the market. And you're seeing a lot of companies just frozen right now.
So they have the opening, but why are they just dragging their feet? I mean, who's doing the work until then? Are you burning out the rest of your employees?
Yeah, well, you got to think these companies are getting flooded with applications right now, especially if you market hybrid or remote. Like we've talked about this before, AI has made it so easy to create this perfect resume that these companies are sifting through, hundreds of resumes, to be able to screen these candidates. And the companies have a longer process, more steps, more red tape, and so as a result of that, it's been a lengthy process, which has caused a lot of frustration.
I'm looking at some of the bullet points here. So the hiring managers are telling you at Robert Half that it's hard to find skilled workers despite that those resumes seem like they're padded. Are you finding, I know we did the story a few weeks ago about people padding their resume, maybe lying and saying they've done things they haven't. Have you encountered that as you're vetting people to put to employers?
Well, that's one of the reasons you would want to work with a staffing firm if you're a company, so that Robert Half can screen and vet all these candidates instead of going through 200 applications themselves. Like, work with a staffing firm to help you screen in and screen out and get the best 2 or 3 candidates available to be able to go do that. But as a company, if you don't want to work with a firm, which I wouldn't recommend, but you got to have a plan in place. Like, a lot of these companies don't have a plan. They don't have a plan for placement, so they just go in and kind of wing it. And as a result, they lose out on some good talent.
So some of the AI stuff, even though it may look slick and it might look glossy, aren't you finding out, like we were looking at some examples together at lunch one day, and I felt like some of you can see it right away. For somebody like myself who writes every day, you look at some of these, you're like, no, come on. Now, I would never say that on a resume like that, but AI thinks that way because it's not a perfect thing yet. Yeah, and are you seeing that? I mean, wouldn't employers spot that right away?
You would think, but if you're a recruiter, you're not specialized in different areas in terms of engineering or sales or accounting or finance, so you may or may not be specialized in that area, which is even more reason why you would want to work with a specialized staffing firm to help vet those candidates out. But AI is, from a candidate perspective, you should be using that, but there's still a human element to it. You can't just rely wholeheartedly on AI to do your job for you.
Now, companies are holding off hiring people, so what are they doing in the meantime? Is all the staff wearing out?
It's a great question. We're seeing increased burnout, decreased productivity, decreased morale, and even sometimes as these processes drag out, it affects the brand reputation. So what do you do about it? You might say,
yes,
go hire a contractor. Look for a contractor to help supplement and scale up and down. And from a candidate perspective, pursue contract work too. It's an opportunity for you to get your foot in the door at the company, earn some extra money, learn a new skill set, learn a new system. That's all the reason that you would want to pursue contract, either from an employee standpoint or a job seeker standpoint.
What would you say is the biggest mistake you're seeing in the resumes that come across your desk? What's the one thing that stands out glaring? You're like, you should not be doing that if you're looking for a job and you want to be taken seriously.
I think one tip that I'll give is in the interview process. You go through the interview process. You really want the job. The number one thing is to follow through and send a thank you note.
Yes.
9 times out of 10,
handwritten note or email.
Either or. Just something to show your interest in the job. Like, if you're interested, you gotta take action and tell the employer that you're interested in the job. And so many times it's a great interview and people are afraid to follow up. So that would be my one tip: is send a thank you note. Handwritten, even better, but a quick email does the job too. It's going to set yourself out from all the other applicants that are out there.
I'm a fan of the handwritten note. I feel like it's a personal touch, and it says you took the extra step. You didn't just crank out an email. You took the extra step. You looked the address up. You made sure you had the title right, all that stuff.
You took your extra 5 minutes.
You did. It was so much work to Google that. Right. Ryan, always good to have you on roberthalf.com, right?
Yes, absolutely. roberthalf.com.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, let's go over to Brad.